Aren't you full of yourself? Well, yes, because if I was full of anyone else, this would be a very adult video, wouldn't it?
Yeah, boy.
Hello everyone, you're here with H, and today the H stands for how long has it been since the last time I asked for these assumptions and now we're actually making the video. It's been many months, okay? Forgive me, but I thought at the time of asking these assumptions, it would be a cool video. Get to know me a bit more. Let me get to know what you guys think about me. That makes more sense in my head. It's like the Q&As. Just vibe together and take a little break. Like a very small, minuscule, like my height, away from looking at stupid scam stuff. So that's what we're doing. And we kicked it off with a bang. Aren't I full of myself? Because apparently every creator who makes an assumption video means you're full of yourself. You're a dirty bastard who thinks too much of themselves, that you are getting people to assume things about you so that you can judge their assumptions. Genuinely, I mean, if you think that about me, all power to you, I guess. But that doesn't mean I'm full of myself because I'm doing an assumptions video, but you do you. Anyway, we have jam, jammy, jam. When your jam is jammy jam, that's the best kind of jam. I honestly assumed you were like a huge YouTuber. Your vibe is immaculate. I also assume you have stuffed animals. By no means am I a huge YouTuber. You could argue my ass is huge for a guy.
Didn't ask.
But it's slimmed down now, actually. I don't know if anyone needed to know that, but there's no script here. I'm just saying things. But I'm not a huge YouTuber. I don't even class myself as a YouTuber, to be honest, because that would mean I'm full-time doing this. I'd love to make it full-time so I could make even more videos. But currently, no. I also assume you have stuffed animals. You're right. Give me a second, right? But how's your day been? Huh? How's your day been? And we'll cut here and I'll be back. Right, so this is a sloth. Yeah? Sloth person thing. I don't know why I have this. Do not ask questions. And to be honest, you're probably gonna ask questions about this. Get this out the way. Why do I have a giant frog? Mate, when I was on TikTok predominantly, yeah, I got sent this giant frog to make like a video. You could call it a sponsorship. Sponsor me. But yeah, I just got this giant frog. So, his name is Joey. The sloth's name is Joey. Just everything's name is Joey. For some reason, I just like that name. Maybe because of Joey Tribbiani from Friends. But yes, I have stuffed animals. Woohoo! Okay, cut now, so I'll put them back and we'll move on. Actually, cut back. Can you see? This is the... I don't know what this is either. They sent this along with the frog, yeah. But it wasn't to be made as a sponsor or anything. They just sent me this. It's a rabbit that's being... I don't know. Okay, now we'll cut. Next up, we have Eddie. I assume you are a human. No. I am robot.
This is great banter.
Are a little shy in real life, but like people, you have a caring attitude and know when to make someone laugh. Regarding the like people part, despite what this channel might show you, I do like people. For the most part, I like people. Am I saying that there's not dickheads in this world who I absolutely hate? No, that would be a lie. But for the most part, people can be nice people, such as the TT, of course. And my mum and brother. And you know when to make someone laugh. To be honest, I'm someone who, even in serious situations, I must make you laugh. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just, I've used comedy and humor as a way of, I don't know, protecting myself. in the past in serious situations, being homeless and stuff like that. So I've always leaned on jokes. And I think life is too short to take everything so seriously, right? For example, when we watch these videos about the scam victims, it's obviously a serious topic, and we do need to address situations like that to help people, raise awareness, etc. But I like to sprinkle in the comedy just because, again, life is too short. If we take everything so seriously, then what is the point of anything, right? Next up, we have Maureen. Let's see. I assume that it is real life. You are quiet and shy, and you can tell how old this assumption is because we're talking about being recommended the Barry Gibb episode, which I did anyway. So if you want to see the Barry Gibb scam fish, it'll be up there. FYI, I don't know who Barry Gibb is until after the recording of that video, so don't slew me in the comments if you go over and watch that. But the assumption that I'm quiet and shy, quiet, yes, in the sense that I need to know how you will react to me, if that makes sense, because I'm Marmite, right? You either love me or you hate me. There is no in between. I have a personality that, for some reason, you will either hate me or love me. And a lot of people in the comments have mentioned that they've grown on me or I've grown on them, which I'm not a mushroom. So how do you...
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Basically, I've grown on them the more that they've, watched the videos. So I'm very much a give me time type of person. But I wouldn't say I'm shy. If I meet someone, I will, judge the situation and the vibes, but I wouldn't say I'm shy, if that makes any bloody sense. We have Fran here. I assume you live in a messy flat. No offense. Don't you love it when people say no offense? Because then offense is taken. No, but seriously, what you call messy, I call organized chaos. No, it is messy. Let's be honest. I'm not going to sit here and explain myself because I don't really have an excuse. I'm just a bit of a messy person. I'm sorry. We have Angela with you like food, or Angel, actually. I think it's Angel. You like food. Correct. I was a bigger boy a couple months ago at the very least, so I did love food, yes. But I still like food. But now I'm learning to balance it with exercise and not just sitting on my ass all day, becoming symbiotic with this chair. Although, I've got a leather ass now. From... Shut up, H.
What the hell are you talking about?
Next up, we have Naomi. Explain your lovely accent. I wouldn't call my accent lovely. I'm not going to lie. I've been told many times I have a voice that sounds like nails on a chalkboard. All power to you if you still have access to a chalkboard, first of all. Fair enough. But I don't know what my accent is. It's a mix, maybe, of like the typical British accent with London accent. But like, I grew up speaking a lot of slang just in my area, right? That's where I grew up. That was my environment. And I don't know what to call the accent. It's just words. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. If in the comments you can put a name to the accent, I'd love for you to give it a shot. But if anyone says I speak like a rat boy, I will block you. I won't. Next up, we have Malia. I assume you're a very family-oriented person. First of all, is it oriented or orientated? Because I hear people say both of them, and to be honest, I never know which one it is. But I assume you're a very family-oriented person. I'm not gonna lie to you as the police go past. Thanks, guys. Honestly, could be ambulance, actually. So, we'll never know. But some might argue they need ambulance after listening to me speak. I don't blame you. But outside of my mum, brother, to be honest, I don't really speak to many people. My family is very toxic, we'll say that much. You can infer whatever scenarios you want from that, but therefore I wouldn't call myself a very family-oriented person unless you are allowing me to use, obviously, that my English? If you're allowing me to just use my mum, brother, my grandmother, for example, may God rest her soul, I'm family oriented, sure. But outside of that, very toxic vibes. And I've mentioned before in a video that do not feel guilty about, the way you speak about your family, because no one will know other than you, right? Never been a fan of people who say, oh, don't speak about that person like that. They're your XYZ, right? Perhaps, oh, they're your father. I'm allowed to say whatever I want to say because I am the one who has experienced what I've experienced, if that makes sense. So don't let anyone make you feel guilty about however you feel. Your family, you know the experiences. And yeah, anyway, to answer that, yes and no. If you allow me to say yes or no as a sitting on the fence answer. We next up have Teresa. In school, you were the class clown and very much on the debate team. We didn't have a debate team. I don't know if that's a thing really in the UK, but I mean, if it existed, I'd love to have been a part of it. As we see, I'm a bit of a motor mouth and I'm very opinionated, so I'd probably do bits on the debate team. No orange juice. Side note, do you like bits in your orange juice? I do. You were the class clown, very much so, just because in that time, particularly as well, it was very rough growing up homeless, so, and then balancing it with going to school. I think I've mentioned before, like, I didn't want to go to school because just everything that was going on, but then once I got to school, I then didn't want to come home, right? If that makes sense. So I used humor once again to cope with everything, and I got, or I made myself happy knowing that others were laughing because of me. Like, that's how I found solace, we'll say. So I was the class clown, but I made it my mission to be because I got happiness from that, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes me sound, like a bad guy or anything, but let me know in the comments. Susie, I hope or I assume you are very educated and very extroverted. You do YouTube videos as a way to get away from your stresses. Man, I wish the YouTube videos helped with the stresses completely. They do a little bit, but obviously life has its way of being life. And sometimes, just moisturize my lips. Well, that was awkward, wasn't it?
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, so they do help. I wish they helped completely. But I don't know if life can ever be 100% stress-free. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that. Like, even if I had billions of billions of billions of pounds, the cash moolah raining down on me, I still don't think I'd be stress-free. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments. Very educated, maybe, I guess. I mean, I went to university. Would you argue that means I'm educated? I don't know. To be honest, I don't use my degree for my job. So you could argue I went to uni for no reason, but I never really knew what I wanted to do until like lockdown hit and I started creating these videos and stuff. So I don't know. I wouldn't call myself very educated because there's still a lot I can learn, academically. But in life, maybe, although I can be very naive at times, very extroverted, depending on the person I'm with. If I've just met you, I'm not. But again, I have a personality. You either love it or you hate it. That's what I've been told. So, extroverted with the right people, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. We next up have Mighty Mouse. Yeah? If anyone remembers Mighty Mouse, I am blessed to have Mighty Mouse assume something about me. I assume you're sarcastic by nature, not for malicious purposes, just have a sarcastic sense of humor like me. And I think that's where I have that very divisive personality, because I am sarcastic. Some might argue just for no reason, right? You could argue it's because I've grown up in Britain and it's just a British sense of humor being sarcastic. But once again, sarcasm falls into the pot of me using humor to cope with things. And I guess sarcasm would be also that thing I do to cope. So yes, you are correct. I'm very sarcastic by nature. You either love it or hate it, right? We've seen in the comments before as well, you either love it or hate it. We have Arena here. I assume you were a nerd in school and did extremely well on your GCSEs. If anyone is not from the UK, GCSEs is basically like high school exams, I guess. You pick a subject and then at the end of the year you do a test on it, No. The nerd part, I used to love sweets, so you could call me a nerd in the sweet sense. You get it? Because of the sweets and stuff. Sponsor me! But I wasn't a nerd. I mean, people thought I was because I wore glasses. Because, back in the day, that was fun times. I didn't do extremely well. The only... this is the irony, right? The irony that I can't speak English and I frequently butcher the English language, being plant-based. Get it? I only did well in English language and English literature. The rest of them, bro, I was bad. So bad. Like, we're talking, maybe it's not bad, it's average, right? Science and maths, average. I mean, the rest, everything else, I was bad. Do you know what I mean? If I knew what I wanted to do, I would have picked, what was it, drama or something, right? I feel like I could be good at drama. I would have picked that, but overall, GCSEs, I picked business. I can't remember the rest of them, but I didn't do good, right? Only English, despite what the channel might show you. We next have Ella Bella, or maybe just Ella. I assume you don't tolerate stupidity. Where did you get that from? Where did you get that from? I'm very tolerant of stupidity. The Only Endless Circle, which is an incredible name. I assume that you are fairly liberal in your politics, but you have a strong sense of justice. I don't think that you start arguments, but I don't think that you are shy about giving your opinion. I don't think that you suffer fools, but I do think that you are kind in your real life. I think that you form friends for life. God, I am opinionated. Sorry, no apologies needed. To be honest, I don't really know what liberal means in terms of politics, but if we're talking about I want to crack down on far right stuff and homelessness issues, housing crisis, poverty, cost of living crisis, stuff like that. If we're talking about that, then I'd agree with you. But if liberal means something else, then let's not assume politics, shall we? But Even, I mean, if you're from the UK, we have, the Tory government. Currently, the Labour government is in power. Not really a fan of politics in general, to be honest, because I think most of the politicians, even the ones who lean towards the left side, they're just all shit. Let's be honest. I don't think any of them really care, because these issues that exist in society would be worked on. I'm not saying, click of the fingers, none of these issues exist anymore, but they would be worked on faster, or have more resources put towards than the current state that it's in. So do you argue no one gives a shit about actually the people? You could argue that. So I'm not really a fan of politics in general. Think you're shy? I don't think you're shy about giving your opinion. 100%. I will say it. You can disagree, you can agree, I'll say it. I don't think that you start arguments. I do, to be honest. If I see something that I don't agree with, I will start an argument about it. It's just the way I am, I guess. I want people... It's good and bad, right? Sometimes I definitely do need to learn that some situations I just need to leave it, right? Let it be, right? What did Elsa say that one time? Let it go, let it go. I need to do that sometimes. But then on the other hand, you could argue that it's what makes the world the way it is. People sharing their opinions. Not everyone's going to agree with you. You're going to have a little bit of an argument, right? But then you use that argument as a way of seeing both sides. And then hopefully you come to a compromise, mainly talking about relationships, I guess, kind of here. You come to a compromise, you've learned that the other person doesn't like a particular thing, and then you both grow from that, if that makes sense. Kind in real life, I guess. I mean, I can't really judge. People will have to judge that for me. And I think that you form friends for life. Again, I would have all of my friends from school still, but I don't. So it's a case of you're only friends with someone because you see them every day, if that makes sense. After school, didn't really keep in touch with anyone. Is that my fault? Is that their fault? Because they went different ways and I didn't want to be caught up with what they were doing, if you catch my drift. You could see both sides of it, I guess, right? But I'm happy where I am. I don't have a lot of friends, and I'm not embarrassed to admit that. Again, you could draw up your own conclusions. Maybe you might think I'm not a nice guy or something, and that's why, but it is what it is. I don't have many friends. I have very few, but them guys are good guys, So I'm glad to even just have just them, right? Keep your circle small, as people say, and they can be the best of circles. And then lastly, we have Marie. I don't have an assumption because I never assume, but I want to ask if you will move to LA when you get 1 million subs, like all YouTubers do. Once again, I don't think I'm a YouTuber until I make this full time, I guess. Very, very presumptuous to think that us over here at the TT will hit 1 million subs, because I just can't see it, right? But maybe stranger things can happen. You never know. But will I move to LA? Probably not. I mean, when I was younger, America seemed like the place to go, right? And I hope I don't offend any of the American TT members here, but it seemed like the place to be when I was growing up. But now that I've grown older and stuff, it doesn't appeal to me as much as it did back then. I get people move to LA and stuff, especially these YouTubers, when they get bigger, just to I don't know, live that life, I guess, or network. To my knowledge, I think LA is like good for networking with like big names, just because that's where they all are, I guess. But I don't think I'll move there. You never know what life will hold. I mean, if there is like a crazy good opportunity and I need to be in LA, I'll go to LA, right? But I don't want to, if that makes sense. If I have to for some reason, I will, but it won't be out of choice, if that makes sense. I wouldn't want to live there. I mean, I do not want to live in England forever. I do want to travel when I can, of course, but to actually move to LA, I'm not sure. I don't think I would want to. So that was assumptions. I picked some out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Is it the most entertaining video? Most likely not. Is it the most entertaining in comparison to other creators who look at assumptions of themselves? Most likely not. But hopefully you guys did enjoy nonetheless. I was going to say, if you want to see more of these, I've never done any of these. I guess if you want to see a Q&A, I'll... First of all, thank you to everyone who did leave assumptions many months ago. I'm sorry it's taken me this long to get back to it, but I found the folder and I thought, why have I never done this? So I've done it. So thank you to everyone. Obviously, we've grown a lot actually since the assumptions were first given. So thank you again to everyone new, been here a while, been here for 2 days, whatever the case may be. Thank you everyone for supporting the channel. We keep growing, maybe we'll hit 1 million one day. I don't think so. But thank you all. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you do want to see Q&A, it's kind of similar to this, but I'll chuck it up there if you do want to watch that. I did it when we hit 5K, so you want to watch that, have fun. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Assume. Do it. Have a good day.